Hey everyone, it's Pam and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing this grayscale eye look with a pop of red in preparation for a video I'm about to shoot over on my other channel. So if you like this look and want to see how I got it, then stay tuned. Alright, so starting out, I've just done my eyebrows already and I'm feeling a little textured today, so I'm going to go in with the No Pore-blem primer from Touch in Soul. Just put that on to smooth things out a little bit. My chair is really squeaky today. So today I'm getting ready to film a video for my other channel. It's called Cannot Be Tamed, and I'm doing a video on a game called Blasphemous, which is a beautiful pixel art game, very gory but very beautiful, and I was kind of inspired by the aesthetic of it and the main character. So now just going in with my foundation, I'm going to be using the Ordinary Serum foundation, and my usual color is 1.1P Fair, and I also have this 1.0N Neutral, which is the first one I bought and is too pale for me generally, but I'm just going to mix them together a little bit because I do want to go for a bit of a more pale look than normal. So this foundation is very, very liquidy. You can probably hear it in here. I'm gonna put it on my back of my hand. I'm gonna open it first, and I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand, and it's gonna go everywhere. This one too. Again, should probably open it first. I'm just gonna mix those in together, and I'm gonna go in with one of these dense brushes. I think it's a sort of knockoff of the Artisan brushes. I think that's what they're called. And I'm going to spread this all over my face. These are very dense brushes, and I don't use them for very much, but I do really like them for this particular serum foundation. I find they spread them out very, very nicely. Although I do find that they're an absolute nightmare to clean afterwards, so you have to sort of weigh whether it's worth it to use the brush for the nice blending, because cleaning it will take a while. Just need a little bit more in here. Also, so much is going in the brush and not enough is going on my face. So I also have a little mini version of that brush, and I'm just going to go in with that as well, just to get some of the areas that are harder to get with the giant brush. So I actually did already prime my eyelids before I started doing this. So the character that I'm sort of trying to emulate here is called the BeneTint one, and they wear gray armor. I think it's actually metal armor, but the whole game gives me a very sort of like stony, stoic kind of feeling. So I'm going to go in with a grayscale. So I'm going to use the ColourPop Smoke Show for that. So I'm going to do a grayscale on the lid, and then with a pop of red for the liner, just because there's lots of blood in this game. So to start out with, I'm going to go in with Stone Face, and I'm going to put this all over my lid. I'm a little bit concerned now that I put on my primer kind of a long time ago. Like, I was getting ready to film and then I got a little distracted, so hopefully it still works out and keeps everything in place and lets everything blend nicely. And I'm just using like a large sort of shader brush to do this. Okay, so now we have some very gray eyelids, and I'm going to go in with Slated, which is a nice medium gray here, and I'm going to put this sort of in the outer corner and then through the crease using a thin brush. So I'm mostly using this to sort of pack the color on more than blend it out, I'll be going in with another brush to blend out the color. So I'm just going to go in with this angled blending brush and just sort of take that through the crease and blend out at the corner. Okay, so I've got that gray on there pretty well. Now I'm just going to do the other eye. Alright, so now I've got that color in the crease and on the outer corner. I'm actually just going to zoom you in a tiny bit more. Alright, there we go. So just to add a little bit of differentiation, I'm going to go in with Ignite, which is a sort of different kind of medium gray shade. This is just on another shader brush, and I'm going to go in sort of in the center of the lid with this. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with Stone Face again, just to make sure that the inner corner is as light as possible, out of these shades anyway. This picks up a lot of product on this brush. Just blend that out from the inner corner. And then on the brow bone, I'm going to be putting this white color, which is called Young Love. Don't really want any shimmer in this gray. I am going for a matte, even though there is some micro glitter in Ignite, but you can't really see that very much. Okay, so we've got that done. Now I'm going to do the under eye, and I'm going to go back in with the thinner sort of pencil brush that I had, and I'm going to go in again with Slated and just go sort of roughly under the eye. I'm not going to stay too close to the lash line. I'll let it come out a little bit. Alright, so now I'm just going to intensify that look a little. I'm going to go in with the black shade called Let's Do It and a thin, flat brush and just stamp it right next to the lower lash line. Now we get to the fun part of the look. To represent the vast quantities of blood in this game, I'm going to do a red eyeliner. And I went through and swatched all of my red adjacent shades, and nothing was quite as intense as I wanted. So I'm going to do something to make it more intense. I'm going to take my primer and a little concealer brush, and I'm just going to line my eye with the primer before putting down the eyeshadow to make it look much more intense. So I just need to take probably a very little bit of the primer on the back of my hand here, and I'm just going to, mirror over here, and I'm just going to take the brush and get a little primer on the tip of it, and then basically just do an eyeliner that you won't be able to see yet. Oh, my eyelids are so creasy, it makes it very difficult when I have to hold a mirror and I can't sort of pull my lid tight. So this is actually fairly easy to work with, and I'm just trying to make a fairly even line, not doing anything too fancy with this shape. Alright, probably should have just done one eye at a time. Hopefully it still works out. I'm going to take a flat angled brush, and I'm going in with the ColourPop So Jaded palette for this. So the first thing I'm going to use is Garnet here, which is a nice deep red, or at least it's a nice deep red when you use enough of it, or start out with a good primer. So I'm just going to, again, just sort of stamp this along the lash line on top of where I laid down the primer. See, it comes out pretty nice and intense when I have that primer down from the start. I mean, it's a pretty color just on its own, but just, you know, having that primer there, a bit of a wetter base, really makes it show up nicely. Alright, so there we go for one eye, and I'm just going to go in for the left eye now. Okay, so now I've got the liner on both eyes, and again, I just want a little more pop, so now I'm going to go in with Ruby, which is more of a shimmery red, and just quickly sort of pat that over the liner that's already on. This is a nice and easy application for this one. Okay, so we've got the red liner on, and I really think this looks good. It really stands out against the grayscale on the rest of my lid. I'm just going to clean up some fallout that I have and put on my concealer now. So I'm just going in with the Glossier Stretch Concealer. Just going to tap a little bit under my eyes here. And then I like to use a brush, sorry I keep going out of frame, to reach my brushes, a brush to blend it in. So I'm kind of more patting than blending here. Just taking it up to underneath where the shadow is placed. Okay, and the last thing for the eyes is the mascara. I'm going to go with just a dark black on the top, and then to get a little bit of that blue hue from the armor of the main character, I'm going to go with a teal underneath my eyes. Okay, so I've just put on the mascara there. I used Better Than Sex on the top, and then the Quo Pump Up the Volume in teal on the bottom. I like how that gave me a bit of a blue tinge here. Does anyone else have a problem with your upper and lower lashes at the corner just wanting to like get all stuck together so that you can't reach them when you do them? If you have a solution for that, please let me know. Second last step, just a little bit of blush going in with the BeneTint. I want something that's just red hued, but you know, nothing too intense, just gonna boop, boop. I don't want to look too lively here. I want to just really concentrate on that gray and red eye, but still want, you know, just a little flush in the cheeks. And then lastly, for my lipstick, I was thinking red, but I think that might be a bit too glam. So I'm going to go in with this very cool shade. This is the Revlon Ultra HD Matte Lip Mousse, and I really like these. This is the color Death Valley, so I'm just going to put this on. I love a nice cool lipstick. It's very satisfying. These feel so nice and smooth on the lips, and they smell nice too, although it's hard to place what exactly the scent is. Okay, I think that's going to be it for the look. I am happy with how it turned out. I really like this red liner, especially since I didn't have an actual red liner. I'm glad that I was able to get this kind of intensity just using eyeshadows. I think the trick of putting down the primer first worked really well. Just here's a real nice close-up of the eyes where you can really see the color getting picked up a little more. I'm super happy with this. I think it turned out really well. Leave me a comment, let me know how you liked this video, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.